Yes, there is. There's definitely things you can do. One of the common questions that's tied into what you mentioned was a lot of people are starting to get headaches and migraines. Headaches and migraines, right? Because what changed? What changed since the circuit breaker started? Everybody started working from home, right? Everybody started to be on computers for a longer time. There's no set time for lunch or whatever, right? So, and you don't have colleagues to go around and disturb. So you're pretty much just zoomed in and you're hyper-focused. But one of the things that I teach people last time that was quite useful to get your body into a more calm state is called the 4-7-8 breathing method. It's basically a ratio, right? 4 counts, 7 counts, 8 counts is by this guy called Dr. Andrew Well. 4 seconds breath in, 7 seconds hold breath, 8 seconds breathe out. Right, so breathe in through the nose, 4 seconds or 4 counts. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it there for 7 seconds. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then breathe out slowly through your mouth. Right, then you just repeat this for about a minute or 2 minutes. 2 minutes. It doesn't have to be seconds, it just has to be the count, right? So if you find it very hard to exhale for 8 seconds, it's quite challenging because you need to control your breath quite a bit.
Do you have to be thinking about something or just focusing on your breath?
Let's focus on your breath.
Okay.
Let's focus on your breath. So what that does is it shifts the state of the nervous system from a more sympathetic, which is a fight response, fight, flight, freeze response, into a more parasympathetic, your rest, digest, and reproductive nervous system. So it shifts that state, right? You're probably aware of a little bit about the nervous system and the balance between the stress state and the relaxed state.
Yeah.
They exist in like a seesaw. If one is up, the other one has to be down. If one is down, the other one has to be up, right? So if you naturally encourage the parasympathetics, it will naturally bring down the sympathetic nervous system. So that is what the breathing does, right? We call it parasympathetic breathing also. It also, another thing that is quite useful that most people might not have heard about is gargling. Alright? So gargling, you take a glass of water, gargle. As you gargle, let the water kind of go all the way down to your throat, as far down as possible without swallowing it. You actually want to get a response. So without swallowing it. So if you do it properly, you'll be able to gargle and it will look a bit like this. You gargle. No, you do that. Yeah, something like that. And you just keep doing that for the entire glass of water. If you do it properly, right, your eyes will start to tear. When your eyes start to tear, you're on the right track already. Right. So what that does is it activates or stimulates the vagus nerve. Right, it's a nerve in the body. The vagus is called vagrant wanderer. So it wanders from the brain to the rest of the body, controls a lot of organ systems. So that vagus nerve is very closely related to your parasympathetic nervous system. So when you gargle, you're stimulating and activating the parasympathetic nervous system through the vagal nerve. Right, and when you get a tearing response, that's when you're on the right track already.
What I do is when I brush teeth, right, I put the toothbrush as close to the back of my throat as possible.
That's exactly what I was going to say, because
I brush my tongue too, right? So I brush okay, stop.
What Justin said is true. So in fact, that's what I usually do, because I don't always gargle. So I'll use the electric toothbrush, brush the tongue, go as fast.
You do that regularly?
I do it regularly, yeah.
You do that regularly?
I do it regularly.
Wow.
Yeah, I just did that this morning. Yeah, so especially when if you have dry eyes, right? If you do have dry eyes, I'm serious. Yeah. If you have dry eyes, you can do that. Right? It will cause the tear to come out. And every time you activate, the vagus nerve and the parasympathetic nervous system correctly, your eyes will tear. Yeah. So things like yawning, right? Like a deep yawn that goes all the way down, like not just but more like that kind of yawn here. That is the easiest way to access your access and manage your stress, because the other way is talk to a psychologist or talk to friends, or all those things is possible. You can go to professionals like this, but something that you can do at home, right, using your physical body.
Something there and then.
Cold shower, right? The first place you want to shock yourself is the face first, right? So you shock the face, and then you splash the cold water on the back of your neck, right? And then underneath your armpits, right? And then in your nether regions, alright, so your groin area. So that activates something called the mammalian dive reflex, right? So similar to when you kind of dive into water, you know, it kind of wakes you up that way. So I read
You
that
describing it makes me like shiver a bit.
I have to try that. And then see whether
Yeah,
it
I will.
works.
The gag reflex thing is a bit shocking to me, but I will try that.
We'll be posting more segments throughout the week on Facebook and Instagram. If you want to listen to the full podcast, catch us on YouTube and Spotify. Links are in the description.
And if you need someone to talk to during this time, or if you have a food or wellness related question for us, you can write in through the link provided, also in the description.
You can also recommend us what to eat next week. So get in touch, subscribe and share this video, and catch you on the next podcast.